And now we're live. Hey, good evening and welcome to Folknet's fall concert series. Nobody's on yet, so I'm just going to kill some time for a second until I see one eye looking at us here. They will jump on shortly. I'm sure we've just gone live on Facebook. But anyway, there we go. We've got 3 people. Anyway, good evening. Welcome to Folknet's fall concert series. My name is Charlie Mossbrook. I am the president of Folknet. And this evening we have decided to go with a streaming concert once again because we're not where we want to be to keep all of our volunteers and audiences safe and performers safe. So we chose to go with the streaming concert again. So thank you for joining us. We really appreciate everybody joining us, and we're glad that we can reach so many more people this way than we normally would anyway. So it does have its benefits that we really are able to reach a bigger audience. We also wanted to take a moment to just think about or reflect for just one moment on everything we've been through for the past 20 years since 9/11 and what we continue to go through. And let's hope that we can find a place of peace in this country. I don't really know what to say about that. It's troubling all around. But anyway, just wanted to take a moment to remember that because we all did collectively suffer through a lot of hard times with that. Anyway, this evening we have Debra Cowan. She is our feature concert. She will be starting to perform in about 20 minutes. But first we have Katy Robinson. And Katy is a performer out of the Canton area, a wonderful singer-songwriter. She is also on the board of Folknet. She is the first Folknet performer that we brought on for this concert, or a Folknet board member that we brought on for this concert series. But we all thought that it would be really just great for our community to see what she's doing, because we like her a lot. She's very good. Anyway, so we're going to get So we're going to get started with the concert this evening. Again, Debra Cowan begins in about 20 minutes, so please just stick around and please give Katy your ear. This is Katy Robinson. Welcome to our little stage, Katy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Debra and I are going to disappear while you're playing.
See ya. Well, thank you, first of all, for having me tonight. So excited to be here. I'm going to start off with a song that was kind of inspired by a conversation with a friend I had when I was having a really bad day. And she said, if you can't find anything positive going on in your life right now, you need to be that positivity and create that positivity. So I thought that would be a good song to start out with tonight. This is called Beacon. The truth is in your eyes. The truth is in the way you look tonight. The truth is in your lies. And I know I've been there a million times. Daughter, nobody's mother. I'm still trying to find my way, and I am my own enemy, at least in my memory. But you are the light that shines for me. Make me a beacon for you. I know some days it don't burn so bright. I see it in your eyes. But that fire is gonna make you shine. I am the redwood's daughter. Nobody's a mother. I'm still trying to find my way, and I am my own enemy, at least in my memory. But you are the light that shines for me. Make me a beacon for you. Thank you. That was a song called Beacon. And that's probably one of my favorite songs that I've written. This next one is another one of mine. It's called Finding Me. I hate getting up so early, but sunrises are kind of pretty, and I am running out of warnings. Do I see a sign wrapped in the beginning? Ooh, they say I'm where I am supposed to be. The journey isn't all it seems, and I am waiting, just waiting for something good to come to me. Waiting, complaining, this life ain't what I planned to be. But the things I need have a way of finding me. I'm trying to find my way down the street. It's getting too dark to read, but the sky and your eyes, do I see a sign wrapped into this evening? Ooh, I'm looking for the light. It's easier to see at night, and I'm waiting, just waiting for something good to come to me. Waiting, complaining, this life ain't what I planned to be. But the things I need have a way of finding Thank you. That was a new song called Finding Me. This next one is another kind of newer song that I've written. It's called Find the Light. And it's a little bit of a depressing one. It's kind of about, this past year and a half, just thinking of all the bad things that could go wrong and things that could happen. But it's also about making the most of the time that we're given here. When I step into the light and I see the other side, will I run or will I hide? There's still so much I haven't done. If I never find the one, where will I be coming from? Will I look at what's ahead instead of leaving it all behind? Will I run with open arms into that white sky? Run away, meet the devil, and make his day? Or will I hug the dark to find the light? Of regret, or will I take back what I've said? So many roads I've traveled on, but so many still go on. I've been driving for so long. Will I look at what's ahead instead of leaving it all behind? Will I run with open arms into that white sky? Run away, meet the devil, dark to find the light. Ooh, I will find the light. Ooh, I will find the light. Ooh, I will find the light. Ooh. Will I look at what's ahead instead of leaving it all behind? Will I run with open arms into that white sky? Run away, meet the devil, and make his day? Or will I hug the dark to find the light? Will I hug the dark to find the light? Will I hug the dark to find the light? Will I hug the dark to find the light? Thank you. That was called Find the Light. I've got one more song. I just want to say thank you all so much for listening, and thank you to Folknet for having me, and I can't wait to hear Deb tonight, so stick around. And this last song I'm going to do is called Gold. Would I have held you longer if I knew the world was ending? Would I have been a part of everything you were defending? I am not the same. The way we've changed, the way we said our goodbyes, you were everything I'd ever need. Now you're just on my mind. I wanna taste the cracks in your smile, fill them with gold as we grow old. Remember why we still shine in the night. I wanna be your gold. my body with tattoos of memories. It's my heart that's bleeding. We could have been the best thing. You are not the same. The way you blamed, the way you wrote our story. We were everything, and then you changed. Now you're just a memory. I wanna taste the cracks in your smile, fill them with gold as we grow. Remember why we still shine in the night. I wanna be your gold. I wanna be the reason, the chance you wanna take. I wanna be the only reason, and your last mistake. I wanna taste the cracks in your smile, fill them with gold as we grow. Remember why we still shine in the night. I wanna be your gold. I wanna be your gold. I wanna be your gold.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Katy. Hey, that's Katy Robinson. She is from Canton. I put the links to her website in the comments down below, so you can go and check her out and find out what she's doing from here on out, and explore your entire catalog or whatever it is you have up on the website. So thank you, Katy. That was wonderful.
Thank you for
Really
having me.
beautiful music. Thank you. Hey, real quickly before we introduce our main act, I want to take a time to remember why we have the opportunity to do this, and that's because the Cuyahoga Arts and Culture grant has been awarded to Folknet for the past bunch of years now on these concerts, and to provide us with the opportunity to reach out to some really fantastic musicians, singers, songwriters, performers, people doing folk music around this country, and bring them to the Northeast Ohio area, specifically to the Cleveland area with the Cuyahoga Arts and Culture in Cuyahoga County. However, the past 2 years, they have continued to fund us while we do these streaming concerts, and we're able to bring this music to anybody around the world, and they continue to support us, and we really appreciate that because it enables us to, pardon me, to continue to support our musicians throughout this region and around the country who we want to bring to town. And we all know that the past 2 years have been really difficult time for the music community professionally. So we very much are appreciative of the Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. Please check out their website. They are also supporting an awful lot of other arts and throughout all of Northeast Ohio. And you can explore it there. A lot of it is online these days, so you can sit in your living room or wherever you're sitting. And then once we're able to get back to normal life, you can go visit all these different events all over the area and continue to support what they're supporting. It's a wonderful organization. We are so grateful. Now let's move on to the next part of our show, which is Debra Cowan. And Debra is a performer, a singer, a musician, and an interpreter of songs. She is not as much a songwriter as a wonderful interpreter, and I always love that because it's when people really dig in and discover the songs and find the hearts of songs in ways that you always hope people find. And Debra is one of those people. So I'm very excited to introduce her. We've had her on the books for a couple of years, and last year we canceled it, but we're able to do it. And And so I'm very excited to have her. By the way, do stick around to the end of the show. I'll announce the rest of our fall series coming up. We've got some good performers coming. Anyway, for now, let's listen to Debra Cowan. So Katy and I are going to get off the stage here, and we are going to give it to Debra. Welcome to the show, Debra. Hello. And how do we get out of here?
Hi.
There we go. Hi.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Tongue-tied, I'm bound to weave my words with thistledown. Sickle moon on turns thistledown silver and fingers raw. I dye a thistle thread, red for my mother's tongue. Mother's words turn scavenging birds. I wish for a daughter, not 7 sons. Rash words, a shower of stones, throw 7 princes from their thrones. Mother's words, the seed of me. Now I am tongue-bound till they are free. I dye a thistle thread, green for the wood where I make my bed, where the ravens sing, free us of our weary wings. They sing, weave and spin, 7 shirts for raven kings. Bite your tongue, swallow your tears, tongue-bound stitch, tongue for 7 years. I dye a thistle thread, white for the tears I will not shed. Fingers one red, raw red for the tongue I move no more. Tongue-tied, I am bound to weave my words with thistledown. Sickle moon on the moor turns thistledown silver and fingers raw. That was a song called Tongue-Tied by a wonderful songwriter in England named Emily Portman. Emily is, I really like Emily's work because she has a tendency to write songs that take material. She takes material from old folk tales and old ballads, and she twists them around and makes new songs out of them. And that one is based on an old folk tale about a young girl who has 7 brothers, and the mother is a wicked witch who puts a spell on all 8 of the siblings. If the brothers are turned into ravens, the girl is rendered speechless, and the only way the spell can be undone is if she weaves 7 shirts out of thistledown for her brothers. This next song is a song by another songwriter from England. His name is Steve Tilston, and it's called The Night Owl Homeward Turns. And he wrote this song about the Norsemen when they first came to England and what the natives must have thought seeing these strangers land on their shores. The night owl homeward turns as the dawn sweeps the sky. We must rise and gather up our flock, push tears from our eyes. We will tread the secret pathways, the ancients to roam. For now comes the last time we'll call this place home. And their longboats have been spied, gathering on the strand, where they hover like a pack of dogs, awaiting command. With their iron and their fire, They will cut through the spray, and the word is that this time their intentions to stay. Oh, the young man's talk is brave. They must make a stand with their courage flowing from a jug, old swords in their hands. How easy they embrace the old gods of war, and their blood flows the morrow, investing on the shore. The night homeward turns as the dawn sweeps the sky. We must rise and gather up our flock, push tears from our eyes. We will tread the secret pathways the ancients did roam, for now comes the last time we'll call this place home. Night Owl Homeward Turns by Steve Tilston. Well, one thing that I always love is to have people joining in on songs. So if you're willing to, well, you're in the comfort of your own home, in the privacy of your own home. So if you've ever been embarrassed about joining in on a song in a show or a concert, well, now is your chance to let your inner singer show. As my friend Heather Wood says, she says, if you have a beautiful voice, sing loud in praise of that beautiful voice. If you don't have a beautiful voice, sing even louder to drown out those with beautiful voices. I do believe that singing brings so much joy, and it brings it to so many people. And so I do a lot of songs where people can join in. And this is one of them. I learned this song from my dear friend and occasional music partner, John Roberts. He and I have both appeared in Northeast Ohio together and separately at various venues. And it's a traditional song called Garner's Gay. And even though we're on the cusp of autumn and the leaves will soon be falling, probably here in central Massachusetts in about a month, this is still a song about spring and plantings, but it's also about love gone wrong. Garner's Gay. And you can sing along with when the verses repeat. I know some of you who are listening in probably know this one, so sing along to the whole thing. Come all ye garners gay that are now in your prime. I wish I was in that bonny lad's arms, where I've been many a time, where I've been many a time, where I've been many a time. I wish I was in that bonny lad's arms, where I've been many a time. Green willow they will twist, green willows they will twine. I wish I was in that bonny lad's arms, where I've been many a time, where I've been many a time, where I've been many a time. I wish I was in that bonny lad's arms, where I've been many a time. Oh, once I had time enough, and it flourished night and day. until that lad, that bonny, bonny lad, he's gone and stole all my time away. He's gone and stole all my time away. He's gone and stole all my time away. Until that lad, that bonny, bonny lad, he's gone and stole all my time away. So now my old time's gone, and I cannot plant any new. And where it was, where the old time grew, it's all over running, running roo. It's all over running, running roo. It's all over running, running roo. And where it was, where the old time grew, it's all over running, running roo. Oh, the roo, the running, running roo, that's not the flower for me. I will pluck up all that running, running roo. I'll plant down a sturdy oak tree. I'll plant down a sturdy oak tree. I'll plant down a sturdy oak tree. I will pluck up all that running, running roo. I'll plant down a sturdy oak tree. Stand you fast, sturdy oak. Stand you fast, don't ever die. I'll prove as true to me own true love as the stars prove true to the sky. As the stars prove true to the sky. As the stars prove true to the sky. I'll prove as true to me own true love as the stars prove true to the sky. For it's very nice drinking ale, but it's much better drinking wine. And I like to sleep in that bonny lad's arms, where I've been many a time, where I've been many a time, where I've been many a time. And I like to sleep in that bonny lad's arms, where I've been many a time. Garner's Gay. So I think from here, go to a ballad, another ballad. I don't think Garner's Gay was it's not a ballad. I think it was more of a broadside. But this is a new one for me, so we'll see how it goes. Again, I got this from John Roberts. And what it is, it's a version of a Francis James Child collected ballad. Oh, you don't know about Francis James Child? Well, Francis James Child was a Harvard literature professor who lived in the late 19th century, and he is credited with kind of being the father of balladry and English and Scottish ballads. In fact, he published volumes of traditional songs and called it the English and Scottish popular ballads. And they were called popular ballads not because they were on the top 40, but because people were singing them, the populace. So thus English and Scottish popular ballads. And those of us that study this stuff, we all have copies of the volumes of Child in our libraries. In fact, I have the 5 volumes that were published in the 60s behind me. And this is a version of a Child ballad. So when we find a song in the collection of books that Child had published, we call these Child ballads. And this is a version of the Child ballad, Willie o' Winsbury, which has its origins in Scotland. But somehow it traveled across the United States, ended up in upstate New York in the Adirondacks, and was collected up there as Johnny Barber. The story's basically the same, but instead of Willie o' Winsbury, it's Johnny Barber. was a lady lived in the East, and her dress was of the green. And every town that she rode through, they took her to be a queen, they took her to be a queen. As she sat on her father's castle wall, viewing the ships coming in, said her father to his daughter dear, what makes your cheeks look so pale and thin? What makes your cheeks look so pale and thin? Oh, have you got some sore sickness, or in love with a fine young man? I have not got a sore sickness, I'm in love with a fine young man, I'm in love with a fine young man. Oh, is he a lord, or is he a duke, or a man of honor and fame? Neither lord nor duke nor of honor and fame, but he's one of your bossy boys, Johnny Barber is his name. Then he's called together his merry men all, by one, by two, by three. For tomorrow morning at 10 of the clock, high hanged he shall be, high hanged Johnny Barber shall be. Oh, say not so, dear father, she said, oh, say not so unto me. For if you were to hang Johnny Barber, she said, no good you'll get of me, no good you'll get of me. And he's called together his merry men all, by one, by two, by three. Johnny Barber was always the very first man, but the very last man was he, the very last man was he. As Johnny Barber he came down, with his suit was off the green, and his coal black eye rolling in his head, his skin was as fair as the cream, his skin was as fair as the cream. Oh, daughter, daughter, I don't blame you for being in love with him. For if I were of the female kind, his companion I will be, his companion I will be. Oh, will you marry my daughter, he said, and take her by the hand? Will you walk with her? Will you talk with her? Be the heir to my houses and lands. Be the heir to my houses and lands. Oh, I will marry your daughter, he said, and I'll take her by the hand. I will walk with her, I will talk with her, but a fig for your houses and lands, a fig for your houses and lands. For here I am called John Barber, he said, but I'm the Duke of New Cumberland. And before I would give her 1 guinea, I can give her 10,000 in hand. I can give her 10,000 in hand. Johnny Barber. So this is a song that comes from another songwriter in England, a man named John Thames. And the song is called Scarecrow. And John has done a lot of work about writing songs and being involved in projects involving World War I and Remembrance Day. And he was one of the movers and shakers behind bringing the musical War Horse to the National Theater stage a number of years ago. And he wrote this song, and I really liked it a lot and decided to put it on my latest album. It's been 2 years, Greening the Dark, which came out in 2019. That album was produced by Dave Maddox, who used to be the drummer. Well, he's still a drummer, but he used to be the drummer for Fairport Convention, and he's played with everybody. Name them that he's played with them. But this is Scarecrow, and it's got a chorus if you want to sing along. Blame it on the fathers, blame it on the sons, blame it on the poppies and the pain. Blame it on the generals, blame it on the guns, blame it on the scarecrow in the rain. As the mowers find their pace, see the line advancing in a steady, timeless grace. There's passion in their eyes and honor in their face, as they sight down the castles and the court. Blame it on the fathers, blame it on the sons, blame it on the poppies and the pain. Blame it on the generals, blame it on the guns, blame it on the scarecrow in the rain. Smell the smoke of stubble as the harvest is brought down. See the fire burning as it purges all around. I see a field turn to ashes, and the only living sound are the skylarks as they try to reach the sun. Blame it on the fathers, blame it on the sons, blame it on the poppies and the pain. Blame it on the generals, blame it on the guns, blame it on the scarecrow in the rain. See the barbed wire growing like a bramble on the land. See a farm turn to a fortress and the future turn to sand. I see a meadow turn to mud, and from it grows a hand like a scarecrow that is falling in the rain. Blame it on the fathers, blame it on the sons, blame it on the poppies and the pain. Blame it on the generals, blame it on their guns, blame it on the scarecrow in the rain. Blame it on the scarecrow in the rain. Scarecrow by John Thames. Well, speaking of record albums and CDs, I do have 6 albums that I've produced in the last 21 years. And they're all available on my website, debracowan.com. I know on my little name tag down there, there's a space between Debra and Cowan. That don't put the space in when you go to the website. It's just debracowan.com. But Greeting the Dark was the second album that I did with Dave Maddox. And I have to say, having worked with him was a real pleasure and a real honor. And he was wonderful in taking these songs that I gave him and making up arrangements and settings that really, really showed off how wonderful these songs are. One of the songs that we put on the first album I did with Dave, called Fond Desire Farewell, has been probably the most downloaded and streamed song of my entire career. It's got a couple of million streams, and it always has quite a number of downloads. It's a song that was written by Ray Davies from the Kinks, and the Kinks were a band that I remember listening to when I was a kid, listening to Top 40 radio, well-respected man, lazing on a sunny afternoon, all that stuff. But then when I became a teenager and started listening to other things that the Kinks did, it was like, whoa, this stuff is pretty cool and kind of deep, actually. And in the 70s, I got a record album called Muswell Hillbillies, and this song was on it. And it's a song about what happens when you succumb to the scourge of alcohol, called Alcohol by Ray Davies. Here's the story of a sinner. He used to be a winner, enjoying a life of prominence and position. But the pressures at the office, his socialite engagements, his selfish wife's fanatical ambition, it turned him to the booze, and he got mixed up with a floozy, led him to a life of indecision. The floozy made him spend his dough. She left him lying on Skid Row, a drunken lag in some Salvation Army mission. It's such a shame. Oh, demon alcohol, memories I cannot recall. Who thought I would say, damn it all and blow it all away? Oh, demon alcohol, memories I cannot recall. Who thought I would fall a slave to demon alcohol? Barley wine, pink gin, he'll drink anything. Port, Pernod or tequila, rum, scotch, vodka on the rocks, as long as all his troubles disappear. But he messed up his life when he beat up his wife. Now the floozy's gone and found another sucker. She's gonna turn him on to drink. She's gonna lead him to the brink. And when his money's gone, she'll leave him in the gutter. It's such a shame. Oh, demon alcohol, memories I cannot recall. Who thought I would see, damn it all and blow it all away? Oh, demon alcohol, memories I cannot recall. Who thought I would fall a slave to demon alcohol? Who thought I would fall a slave to demon alcohol? Alcohol by Ray Davies. Well, I'm going to give the fingers a rest here and do some unaccompanied songs. Oh, Johnny be fair and Johnny be good, and he wants me for to wed. And I would have married Johnny, but me father up and said, I hate to tell your daughter, but your mother never knew that Johnny, he's a son of mine, and so is kin to you. Oh, will he be fair and will he be good? And he wants me for to wed. And I would have married Willie, but me father up and said, I hate to tell your daughter, but your mother never knew that Willie, he's a son of mine, and so is kin to you. Oh, Jimmy be fair and Jimmy be good, and he wants me for to wed. And I would have married Jimmy, but me father up and said, I hate to tell your daughter, but your mother never knew that Jimmy, he's a son of mine, and so is kin to you. So I went home to me mother, and I hung me head in shame of all the lads in the village, and I couldn't change my name. My mother said, if your father knew, it's me, Charlie Kill. For your father's not your father, so marry whom you will. Johnny be fair. There's an interesting story that goes along with that. I first heard that song, in the late 90s from somebody here in Massachusetts. And he told me it was traditional. And he had heard it from somebody else and somebody else. Well, and I've been singing it for a long, long time, put it on my album, Long Gray Line. And 2 years ago, I got an email from Buffy St. Marie. And she wrote me and she said, it's so good to hear people singing that song. I wrote that song in 1962 or 63, and I'm so glad that you're singing it. And it was so nice to get an email from Buffy St. Marie. My gosh, she's a giant. And so I wrote her back and I said, wow, that's so nice of you to say. And I said, I recorded that and I thought it was traditional, but I'd be more than happy to send you the fee that we pay when we record songs by other people. And she wrote back and she said, oh, no, don't send me money, please. I'm just so happy you're singing the song. I thought that was a pretty cool, pretty nice connection with her. Wow, she's still performing, and I think she's almost 80 years old. Buffy, if you're watching, I hope I didn't misstate your age there. I thought I'd do another ballad, and this is one. It's kind of a long ballad. I have this big clock on my iPad, then, so I'm watching the time. But this is a long ballad, and it's one that I learned from my dear friend Louisa Killen. Louisa was used to be Lou Killen or Louis Killen, and she had quite an extensive career from the late 1950s with Ewan McCall and Peggy Seeger in the critics group in London, and doing a lot of folk clubs in England, and then moving over here in the 1960s and stayed here until she went back to the UK in 2002. And sadly, we lost her in August of 2013. She became a very, very dear friend to me in the last 10 years of her life. And visit to Louisa whenever I was in the UK was always on the schedule. But this is a song that we always think of as hers. It's called The Rose in June, and it was collected by folklorist Kenny Goldstein, who worked out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And Dr. Goldstein had collected this song from a source singer in Labrador. And the reason I like this ballad so much is because it's a ballad about faith. Now, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but there's something about the faith in this song and how in a time of tragedy, these fishermen depended on their faith to get them through this horrible experience. And on this day that where we remember the 20th anniversary of what happened in New York, I'm sure there were a lot of people whose faith got them through the emotion and the tragedy of that horrible day and the years to come. So this is The Rose in June. The other thing about this ballad that I really, really love is there is a hymn embedded in the middle of it. On the rocky coast of Scotland, in a little village there lived a man of honor, serving God without a care. He was but a man of honor and a humble fisherman, working hard to earn his living. Andrew Davidson's his name. He was the master of a vessel, and he claimed her for his own. She was fitted with all was needed. She was called the Rose in June. And with eager expectations, he was waiting for the day when the time would come for fishing and the boats would sail away. Now Andrew lately had been married, and before he left his home, Andrew and his wife together knelt in prayer before the throne, asking God for his protection on his wife while he was gone, praying that the Lord would save her and would keep her from all harm. And his wife, she knelt beside him, and she heard his fervent prayer, asking God for her protection, but for him came not a word. And her heart sank deep within her as they rose from bended knee, praying that the Lord would save them and the dangers of the sea. Now when summer winds blew softly, herring fishing season came. Andrew Davidson's preparing, herring fishing was his game. Oh, this happens to us all, doesn't it? When summer winds blew softly, herring fishing season came. Andrew Davidson's preparing, herring fishing was his game. Andrew Davidson's preparing with his crew to go to sea, never thinking 'twould be the last time, never more his friends he'd see. And all night long that storm was raging, and the icy billows roared. Many a gallant ship and crew were tossed along that rocky shore, and those crews and gallant seamen clinging, and I'm having a real bad time remembering the words. As I said, this happens to us all. And all night long that storm was raging, and the icy billows roared. Those ships were tossed and turned all along that rocky shore, and their crews were clinging to them, all seamen stout and brave, praying that the Lord would save them from a seaman's watery grave. And all along the coast next morning, anxious eyes they watch the shore. Those children of those gallant seamen for returning ships to come. And one by one those ships came sailing in from morning until noon, until all were safe at anchor, all but one, the Rose in June, whom the seas turned bottom upwards, dashed against those rocky shores. Her crew was clinging to her, hoping the storm would soon be o'er. And Andrew Davidson, the captain, in that time of sudden fear, called on Jesu Christ the Savior, and he bowed his head in prayer. Sing, come all, and sing God's praises. And with that they all began. Dearest Jesus, I am dying. What a comfort to find. What a comfort to know that the Savior is mine. Hallelujah, sing to glory. Hallelujah, amen. Hallelujah, sing to glory, to revive us again. And these words were scarcely ended when the outwave struck around. It tore our master from his holding, and his body it was drowned. He's gone to join his friends and seamen on that heavenly shore, praying, singing God's praises, singing praise forevermore. Now John Allen was our young mate, and we knew he was forgiven, saying, keep on with your singing, for our Master is in heaven. And we sang so loud and trial till we came to this last verse. Slowly onward we haste to that heavenly place, for here is the glory and here is the grace. Hallelujah, sing to glory. Hallelujah, amen. Hallelujah, sing to glory, to revive us again. But these words were scarcely ended when the outwave struck our side. It tore our young mate from his holdings, and he sank beneath the tide. He's gone to join those friends and shipmates on that heavenly shore, singing God's praises, singing praise forevermore. Now the rest of the crew was rescued, but they'll ne'er forget that scene, in that hour and that moment, in the song they tried to sing. There was no sermon ever preached, or experience ever known, like that sign of sudden danger and that time of sudden doom. So sinners, give your souls to Jesus. It can never be too soon. When in heaven you'll meet the Master, meet the crew of the Rose in June. Yes, sinners, give your souls to Jesus. It can never be too soon. When in heaven you'll meet the Master, meet the crew of the Rose in June. Well, I sort of got through it. The Rose in June. I am a proud member of American Federation of Musicians, Local 1000. We are called the Traveling Musicians Union. And we represent musicians from all over North America. We have members everywhere. We even have a member in the UK. Billy Bragg is also one of our members of Local 1000. And we advocate for fair wages and working conditions, good working conditions for our members and non-members. We really do serve all the traveling musicians and any freelance musicians, mostly in the folk world. But I always say that we have Local 1000 has we have heart benefits and we have hand benefits. The hand benefits, these are the ones that you can kind of grab, like instrument insurance and pension. We have a pension plan. We're able to contribute to the AFM Employers Pension Fund. We also have an emergency relief fund. And when the pandemic hit in March of 2020, we were able to raise tens of thousands of dollars and give that money to our members who had fallen on hard times, and because all the work disappeared. I don't remember how much we distributed, but I know it was tens of thousands of dollars. And that helped to keep a lot of our members going. AFM Local 1000. So we're at local1000.org if you want to check us out. And if you are a musician and want to look into joining us, we would love to have you. One of the things about being a member of Local 1000, and this is part of the heart benefits, is I get to hang out and be friends and commune with other traveling musicians. And not being a songwriter, it's also a great place to find songs, because so many of my friends have written songs that I sing. And this is one of them. My good friend Reggie Harris, who I know has done a lot of Folknet shows and has performed in the Northeast Ohio area, wrote this song. And he wrote it for the 100th anniversary of Woody Guthrie's birth. And it's called Roll On Woody. And it's got a chorus that you can sing along to. It goes like this. Roll on, Woody, roll on. You taught us well by singing your songs. Now we're here to carry it on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. You taught us well by singing your songs. Now we're here to carry it on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. You were born with the heart of a cowboy. Okima, the place you began. Right from the start, the road called to your heart, and you set out to discover the land. You hitched and you rolled and you rambled with a passion that yearns to be free. And the stories you lifted from all that you met, from the gospel of humanity. Roll on, Woody, roll on. You taught us well by singing your song. Now we're here to carry it on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. From the farmer, the miner, to the old and the young, from the refugee women and men, you made your name by exposing the game that kept the folks facing the wind. But in all of your years of hard traveling, You often said you had no choice. Your words made it clear. Don't give in to the fear, and speak out so they hear your voice. Took a stand. Roll on, Woody, roll on. You took a stand by singing your songs. Now we're here to carry it on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. From the pastures of plenty to Columbia's shore, from the mountains right down to the sea, you said that this land was our land to have. It's a land made for you and for me. Oh, but now, dear Woody, the tables are turned, and the forces of greed try to win. But we're bound for glory, and we're up to the fight, and we won't be denied in the end. Give us hope. Roll on, Woody, roll on. You give us hope by singing your songs. Now we're here to carry it on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. You give us hope by singing your songs. Now we're here to carry it on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. Roll on, Woody, roll on. Roll on, Woody by Reggie Harris. Well, thinking about today and do this song. I haven't sung this in a while, so I hope I can remember it. You know, you can't go wrong with a song by Richard Thompson. And this is one that I've always loved from the very first time I've heard it. And hearing Linda Thompson sing this, and I always go back to Linda's singing because her singing is, it's the kind of singing that where the emotion is there, but she doesn't do anything to enhance it. It's kind of hard to describe, but she was able to put out a song and make it punch, just really hit you, but without any drama. This is called Strange Affair. This is a strange affair. The time has come to travel, but the road is filled with fear. This is a strange affair. My youth is up and wasted. I'm bent and gray with years. Where are my companions taken away? Who will provide for me against my dying day? I took my own provisions, but they fooled me and wasted away. Oh, where are my companions? My father, mother, lover, friend, and enemy. Where are my companions? They're prisoners of death now and taken far from me. Where are the dreams I dreamed in the days of my youth that took me to illusion when they promised me the truth? And what do sleepers need to make them listen? Why do they need more proof? This is a strange affair. Won't you give me an answer? Why is your heart so hard towards the one who loves you best? When the man with the answer has taken you and called you to the test. Wake up from the sleep that burns like clouds upon your eyes and win back the life you led that's now a dream of lies. Turn your back on yourself, and if you follow, you win the lover's prize. This is a strange affair. Richard Thompson. Well, I'm going to do one more, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. And I also want to thank Charlie and the Folknet organization for putting this on. I'm so sad that I couldn't actually be with you in Cleveland, and but this was the next best thing, and I'm glad we finally got to do it. Also to the Cuyahoga Arts Council for funding Folknet and all of their endeavors. And wow. And a lot of that, the arts councils have really stepped up to the plate in helping out organizations who had to see their music programs eliminated because of the pandemic. And so donations, I'm sure, can be made to these arts organizations. Please support your arts organizations. Also, I want to say a word about public radio. This music does not get played on Top 40 radio. It gets played on public radio and community radio stations. And I would hope that you would please support your local public radio station here in the U.S. Because they're the folks that play our music. And I am so grateful to the folk DJs around the world. There's quite a number of them that have played my music and play the music of so many of my colleagues and peers. So please support your public and community radio stations. If Joanne is listening in, this one's for you because I know it's one of your favorites. And it's a song that was written by John Connolly, who is from the northeastern part of England. John Connolly and Bill Meek. I need to put Bill in there because he's half of the songwriting team. And What John Connolly is known for actually is for writing probably a song that is cited most as traditional. And John tells the story that when he goes to a folk club and somebody sings Fiddler's Green, he will, during his spot, he'll stand up and he'll say, "I wrote that in 1964. So that's his claim to fame. But he also wrote this song, and it's called "One More Before We Go," and it's got a great chorus. So you'll pick it up as we go along. And thank you so much. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Folknet. And again, thank you all for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. One more before we go, me boys, let mirth and music flow. In friendship's bonds let us rejoice. One more before we go. One more before we go, me boys, let mirth and music flow. In friendship's bonds let us rejoice. One more before we go. We have walked this road 1,000 times, God grant us 1,000 more. Down all those rolling years to bring our music to your door. We've shared the songs and laughter too, of joy we took our fill. And by the light of the friendly moon, we rode home singing still. One more before we go, me boys, let mirth and music flow. In friendship's bonds let us rejoice. One more before we go. The amber and the ruby glass have warmed both hearts and minds, and by the fires of jovial inns a welcome we will find. Kind voices and kind words we met throughout this pleasant land. A smiling face, an open door, a clasp from every hand. One more before we go, me boys, let mirth and music flow. In friendship's bonds let us rejoice. One more before we go. And those who've journeyed far may find of sport a port in stormy seas, a haven from the gales of life that bring our spirits ease. From farm and factory they have come, these laboring men and kings, to blend their voices and to share the bond that music brings. One more before we go, me boys, let mirth and music flow. In friendship's bonds let us rejoice. One more before we go. No sadness shall our journey be, no care shall sit beside, while song and story carry us upon that magic tide. And when the hastening hour decrees, farewells we must bestow, and those can raise a glass to join. One more before we go. One more before we go, me boys, let mirth and music flow. In friendship's bonds let us rejoice. One more before we go. One more before we go, me boys, let mirth and music flow. In friendship's bonds let us rejoice. One more before we go. One more before we go. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Folknet. Thank you. Thank you to Katy. Thank you to Katy for a wonderful opening set. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. That's wonderful. Yeah, I've been sitting over here doing my ALS or ALS. What took my mother. American Sign Language over here. Applause. But thank you, Deborah. That was wonderful. Hey, that was Debra Cowan. Give her all the applause you can within the comments. And if you got any questions for her, we can put them down in the comments, and we'll give them to her.
I just clicked on the comments, and it's like, oh my gosh, there they are.
There are people chatting here.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool. Oh, yes. I have to put on my glasses. I see some familiar people. Hi, Patricia. There's Patricia. Oh, wow. Wow.
Is Patricia the country dance caller?
Patricia is the country dance caller, one of my
Right.
dear friends in Connecticut there.
Wow.
Love you, Patricia. Cool. Very neat.
Well, hey, let me make some quick announcements while we're waiting for anybody who's got anything to say in the comments. Hey, this is all put together by Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. Not put together, we put it together. They fund us. They provide us with quite a bit of help to do these concerts. We're incredibly grateful. Please support all the different events they're doing. Check them out, cuyahogaartsandculture.org or just CAC. You can find them on the internet, and you can find all kinds of different events around Northeast Ohio. Folknet also has a second concert series. In addition to the Folknet concert series, we've recently adopted the Mountain Rose concert series that many of you may remember Tom Ball being the MC, and he ran everything. We lost Tom right at the beginning of the pandemic, not from COVID, but we did lose Tom last year. Tom has also left a very generous gift to Folknet, which will keep us hopefully in good standing for quite some time. But we've continued the Mountain Rose concert series that Tom championed for many years. And in 2 weeks, we're going to be, what do we have here? This is a Tom Ball.
Patricia asked what the red book was, and this is the Songs of the International Workers of the World, the Wobblies. So this is the Little Red Songbook.
The Wobblies.
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. No. Where was I? Oh, the Mountain Rose concert series. So in 2 weeks, we're going to be starting up our first concert with Mountain Rose since we lost Tom. And we're going to be doing that with a very special guest, a man named Andy Cowen. Unfortunately, we've decided to restrict the audience to just a very small group of people who will be invitations of Andy. However, we will be streaming just as we are streaming tonight. And with that, I'm going to do something kind of goofy here. I don't know if the rest of the board is going to hate me for doing this. But when we're all done here, you know, the Milwaukee Brewers came into town this weekend so far, and their Brewers are beating up on our soon-to-be Guardians pretty bad. But Andy's up in Milwaukee, and he's going to take care of the people of Milwaukee. And here's a link. I just put it into the comments. So when we're all done, you can go check out Andy Cowen and John Stano, who's a songwriter out of Milwaukee, at the Coffee House. And they will be performing for you live this evening. So that's going to be going on. So when we're all done, you can go check out more of Andy. But we're going to have Andy at the Mountain Rose concert series. It's going to be in the Fred Fuller Park in the little building there. However, it's going to be very, very, very limited audience. So please check back to the folknet.org website where you can find the link to the concert when it happens, just like we had this one tonight. Also coming up in October, on the second Saturday of October, we're going to have Muriel Anderson, I believe, will be happening. And then the second Saturday of November, we will have Joel Mavis out of Michigan, a wonderful songwriter. Deborah is giving the big thumbs up. She likes Joel. We all like Joel.
Another Local 1000 member. Andy is also a Local 1000 member. So, you know, You guys are batting 1,000 here. And I know Muriel is probably an AFM member. She's not a Local 1000 member, but I'm pretty sure she's an AFM member.
Do we know if Claudia Schmidt is? Because she'll be here in December.
Claudia's not. We're trying to get her on board, though. We're trying to get her on board. Tell her about Fair Trade Music, and maybe she'll join us. Sally is. She sings with Sally Rogers a lot. So, and Sally is definitely a Local 1000 member. Very
cool. So we've got some great concerts coming up. Those are all going to be the second Saturday of November for the Folknet concert series, the Mountain Rose concert series. We've got more concerts coming up. We're working on booking those right now. And right now everything is virtual until we say otherwise. We're hoping everybody does what they need to do to help us get back to doing things in person. And we want everybody to be safe and healthy. So we're going to take the safest direction towards that. There are people who are
I just wanted to say I cannot answer the comments. So thank you so much for all your kind words, and make sure you do check out Andy. Andy is a very dear friend, and he's one of the people that really keeps the old songs alive, and has such a respect for the tradition, and he's also just a damn fine musician. He knows the blues. Oh my gosh, he knows the blues. Really does.
And Deb Van Cleef is she's reminding us all that we had a whole bunch of Local 1000 members last year with Gina Reggie, Greg Greenway, and Joe Jenks, I believe, is who else? Zoe Mulford, is she a member?
No, she's not, but she's also in another country. So she is a member of the union over in the UK.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So we have a close relationship, more so than we even knew. Anyway, that's what's going to be happening for Trent Fury.
Yeah. Trent Fury, who was our president. Who was our? Right. I was vice president, and Trent was our president. And I worked very closely with Trent on a lot of our Local 1000 stuff. So,
that's great.
Yeah.
Hey, I think just a couple more things before we go. Folknet made a big donation to Folk Alliance Region Midwest recently to help them to deal with some of the hardships that have come with not being able to present conferences. They're also Farm is also currently in the middle of a fundraising campaign. Please check that out. And then Farm will be having its conference on the last weekend of October. If you haven't been to a Farm ever, this is a good opportunity to do so, because you don't have to drive or rent a hotel room or anything like that. And the registration is very fair and friendly because it's all going to be online. So check out farmfolk.org for that. I don't know if I have anything else to talk about other than to say, Katy Robinson, thank you very much for joining us and for sharing your music. Debra Cowan, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your music. Everybody at Folknet who has volunteered to make these things happen, thank you. And we'll get together again in a couple of weeks with Andy Cohen on the 23rd. So please check back to our website regularly. And I think we're going to sign off from here on out. And I'm going to keep Debra around for a second, at least maybe Katy too, just to talk over some business issues. But anyway, thank you very much. We will see you in 2 weeks. Go check out Andy right now. He's lighting up Milwaukee. Have a good night.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.